Here we are. We are live now. And a little bit of music to carry us through till show start time.
Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered, passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Crossroads, sitting doing time. Junkie and the jigger just seen who done the crime. Captain pulled the trigger, guess who's doing time? They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, is he yours or is he mine? Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In our search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. We're missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Devil's at a crossroads, joker's doing fine. Just sitting doing time.
Yeah. All right. As I'm finishing tweaking some things here, it seems YouTube has finally crammed down my throat their new platform for YouTube channels. I've ignored it as long as I could, and today I just couldn't get out of it. I have to learn the new interface. It's really a drag. I hate having to learn new things and improve my customer experience. I like the old one. The old customer experience worked just fine. So making sure everything's working. It looks like the stream's working. I've got the chat stuff up and working. Yeah, it's got a couple new tricks, better analytics, better monitoring of the stream health than it used to be. Had to change the key for my stream though. Gave me a whole brand new stream key. What a pain. Almost forgot how to change it. All right, let's see what we got. That's about it. It's time to move into the live segment. All right, off we go. Let's wind this puppy up. And they're off. It's episode 435, and I've got plugins for cleaning your assets, adding scripts, creating a table of contents, and ClassicPress options, all coming up on WordPress plugins from A to Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the Brewery Overlook in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. I'm John Overall, and I have the usual great show for you today. But of course, right off the top, don't forget you can get all the show notes over at wpplugins.a2z.com, and take a minute or two, subscribe to the newsletter, and get out there and hit everyone in the mouth. Spread the word about WP Plugins A to Z, and you can catch it live every Thursday at noon Pacific time on our YouTube channel. All right, with all that being said, let's just dump right into the meat and potatoes of the show. All right, I have a couple of great plugins for you today and some ClassicPress and news and other miscellaneous stuff. But right off the top, the first one out the gate, this one's kind of a bit special and something I hope to see more of on the show. And this is a review for a plugin sent in by one of the producers out there. It was sent in by Fritz Barnes and from bizpromedia.com. And Fritz is a full-time self-employed building websites since 99. Well, he's been in the business as long as me. So welcome to it all, Fritz. Greatly appreciate you sending in this. And so what did he send us in? Fritz sent us in a plugin called Asset Cleanup plugin for page speed. Okay, it's a really nice looking plugin. I haven't had a chance to look at it myself yet, but here is what he has to say about it. This plugin is written and maintained by Gabriel Levon, a UK-based WordPress full-stack developer. Levon is a certified Codeable WordPress expert and a top 3% developer. As of this writing, October 2019, the plugin has over 40,000 active installations and a solid 5-star rating with only over 300 reviews. The idea is to identify resources, CSS, JavaScript, that are loading on pages where they are not needed and disable them on those pages. This will have a number of benefits for your website. Faster page loads means happier visitors and happier Google. It also means fewer HTTP requests, fewer conflicts, cleaner source code, and server log files, and more. See the plugins page in the repository for a long list. The plugin has a number of other features, some of which overlap with what many caching plugins and CDNs also offer. This is a plugin that does require some technical knowledge to use and will take some time to configure. I've just started dabbling with this plugin and I love the concept. Overall, so far, I think it's a great plugin and an important addition to your arsenal of tools for optimizing your sites. And thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. And since you didn't give me a rating for the plugin, since it has a pro version, I realized that, yeah, there's a lot of 5-star ratings for the plugin, but because it has a pro version, that automatically disclaims it from getting a 5-dragon rating here. So I'm going to give it a 4-dragon rating. It's a plugin you might want to go and check out. And folks, you want to send me reviews? I will happily put them into the show. I will love to have producers giving me some stuff and lightening my workload. So thank you very much, friends. I greatly appreciate that, and I hope this one goes out to you and hear all about it. All right, so let's get on to a little bit of WordPress news. Okay, first off, we have a big piece of news. This is relatively recent. As of yesterday, it was announced. Millions of sites have been exposed by a flaw in Jetpack. So Jetpack has a flaw that has existed since version 5.1, I believe is what I've read here, and they're on 7.9 now. So this flaw has been kicking around for some time. They supposedly say it has not yet been exploited in the wild, but if it had, would they really know if someone was exploiting the flaw? Unless, of course, they mistakenly exposed it too soon. But at any rate, the big thing is if you use Jetpack, and I highly recommend against using Jetpack, but if you are using Jetpack, get it updated as quick as you can, because this flaw is a big one. And it's something that you'll want to take a look at. This is an article from Bleeping Computer, and go read the article, lists up all the issues with it, and tells you some of the things you'll want to be aware of, and make sure that you have gotten your update completed. There's a little bit of security news from WordPress 5.3, which dropped this last week. Of course, if you're updating, which I've started to after waiting to hear all the problems people had and see what was happening with it. I'm always slow to update to a major version just to make sure that it hasn't broken things, which is usually the problem. But they made a couple of security updates in it. They updated the CA root bundle of certificates. They updated and secured the O embeds. They did some PHP 7.4 compatibility, a few other things in here. So go read this article over. It's from WPSec, and it gives you a little bit of information about what you need to know about updates in security to WordPress 5.3. Not a major amount, but just a couple of things that you may want to be aware of. A nice article from Donko Font, and this is 7 essential WordPress tips you will need to know this year. And it's a pretty decent article. It talks about curating your WordPress media library, controlling the file sizes of stuff, pulling plugins that you don't use. That's something that's really big. I recommend it highly. If you're not using the plugin or themes, get them all out of there. You don't want anything but what's active when you're actually running your site live. Put keywords and images, get analytical, revise your permalinks. Maybe you might want to update them or take a look at them. These are just a couple of little bits of information for you out there. So go check out this articles and news. And from me, well, we're pushing towards the end of the year, and Plugin Dynamics is chugging along. So expect to hear something in January from Plugin Dynamics as we finalize that. And contests. We do not have a contest currently. I'm still in the process of arranging it. It's you got to remember, I'm a one-man show here for the most part. I get the help I need to build out sites and stuff, but I still have a lot of other work I have to get accomplished. And the show, while I really enjoy doing it, takes up a fair chunk of time, but it is secondary to me having to make a living. It seems that my landlord wants the rent, the grocery store wants money for groceries. I can't understand that. They should just give it all to me and let me do what I want. Unfortunately, the real world doesn't work that way, so I have to get out there and earn a living. So at any rate, our contests are powered by the Simple Giveaways plugin, who have provided us with the premium version to run our contests. And the winner of the last contest for the Social Rabbit plugin was Sherry, and so congratulations. And episode 428 is when I reviewed that plugin, so you can go tune into that to find out more about that plugin there. If you want to find out more about contests and stay current, just go to wppluginsa2z.com/contest to keep up to date and find out more about what's happening. Okay, so next up, I have for you another plugin. This one here is called Sogo Add Script to Individual Page Headers and Footers. And what this one is for, this one came out because I was working on a site that I needed to do a specific script for a specific page. And while there's lots of ways to do it, most of it requires going in and doing some coding or adding custom fields. And if you don't already have those things in place, this was a really great plugin for a site that didn't have anything in place to make it easy. You just take this plugin, install it, activate it, and now on a per page or post basis, you can add header or footer scripts to that page or post that apply only when that page or post is loaded. And this is a really great thing to do because it saves you tons of time, saves you some grief, and maybe you don't want that script running site-wide. I know you can go add those in header and footer scripts or in the customizer areas. There's lots of other places to add header and footer scripts, but they're site-wide through everything. You want something that's maybe specific to a page so you're not chewing up resources, adding extra HTTP calls that are unnecessary to your site. So really simple plugin, really great plugin, and of course a freebie that works like it's supposed to and doesn't have to, you don't have to pay anything else for. Well, it jumps right up to a 5 dragon rating. Okay, so go check it out. SoGo, add script to individual pages, headers, and footers. Although their title doesn't quite read like that. It says add script to individual pages, header, footer. It needs a little help. All right. Listener feedback. Well, I kind of skipped over something last week, and we made a joke of it with the new thing, Pugs No More, WP Pugs No More. And, well, I didn't clarify it up. A couple of people got it when I made an overly half-handed comment, but let's clear that up. I want to thanks out to a G who pointed out the misspelling that I had going on for many episodes of the show art. And that was going back probably a good couple dozen episodes, and nobody caught it. Everybody just kept glossing over it. It said WP Plugins A to Z. And so what we did was we fixed it and we went back to being plugins as of last episode. So thanks a lot to G, who also pointed out a couple of other minor issues that he noticed that I fixed up on the site. So thank you very much. You want to give him a shout out and a thank you. I've left a link to his website in the show notes, so go check out his website and go give him some love. So thanks a lot. I greatly appreciate it. Always glad to hear some feedback, especially things that help me out when I've overlooked something and just not noticed. All right. Show supporters, this show is supported by you, our producers, as a value for value model, meaning if you get any value out of it, please give some value back. And that value can become a producer, help out with the show. That value can be anything. You can donate money to the show. That always helps out. Donations of $50 more and over are credited with executive producer credit in the show notes, and their note is read out on the air. You can submit artwork at the WP Plugins A to Z art generator. Submit articles, news, information. Submit plugin suggestions for reviews, or even submit a whole review. You can also create monthly donations at Patreon or anything I may not have thought about. Maybe you've just catch some of my errors that I've overlooked and help me get them straightened. So anything you can do, greatly appreciated. So thank you very much out there. And thanks to all the producers who came in under $50 and who have set up weekly or monthly donations. They really do help the show out. So thank you very much. This show currently brought to you by Save Time and Money Managing Multiple WordPress Websites. If you have several WordPress websites to manage, either for your clients or yourself, then you know how much time it can take managing them all. Time that is spent on mundane administrative tasks and then losing that time for your important business tasks. CMS Commander is an online service that solves this problem and makes managing multiple WordPress websites fast and easy, as simple as controlling a single site. By placing all your websites in one powerful dashboard, CMS Commander makes it possible to update, backup, and manage them all at the same time in one place. Features of CMS and Commander include one-click updates of plugins, themes, and WordPress core for all sites, automatic scheduled website backups, website cloning and restoration, uptime monitoring and analytics integration, bulk posting and automatic content. Sign up now for your 14-day trial at cmscommander.com and access all the features that will allow you to manage more websites and save time. Absolutely, and go check them out. They're great. I've been using them for about 9 years now, so go check them out. And the links in the show notes are affiliate links, so I greatly appreciate it if you use them and you sign up there for that service. Okay, next up, I have for you another plugin. This one is called Table of Contents Reloaded. And this one here is one that I've only sort of used, and it's a great one. It was for an older kind of site, and it's a great plugin if you're looking to create a table of contents, a site map, or something similar from all of your posts, pages, get them organized into different methods. It does alphabetizing. There we go. Get the tongue working correctly. And it sets up relatively easy. It's a really great looking plugin that allows you to create all the different ways. It's got several shortcodes in here. It is an extension on an older plugin. It's built off of the Table of Contents Plus. And what this guy did was he obviously forked it and extended it because the previous developer abandoned it 4 years ago. So it's nice to have a newer one out there. This is relatively new. It's actually brand new out there. I found it in the WordPress repository, new plugins. And go give them some love out there from Yeda Hassin, and it is Table of Contents Reloaded. A great little plugin, nice, simple, and free. And of course, those ones there always end up at the top with a 5 Dragon rating. All right, ClassicPress options. ClassicPress, that fast-growing new CMS system out there that is going to overtake and conquer the world, I think. ClassicPress focused on business websites, runs quite fast. If you want to find out, go check out wpplugins.com. It's running on ClassicPress. And this week here, what do we got? Well, they have the nominations for the 2020 Management Committee. The ClassicPress Management Committee have closed, but I do have links in the show notes to the list of nominees and who they are. So make sure you go check them out and go see their individual pages and why they're running and what they have to say about themselves. So it's all locked down. I'm not sure when the elections are, but I'm sure they're coming up soon. And what else do we got this week? We do have a new one from Code Potent, and it seems Code Potent has released a new plugin out here. It's Release Candidate 1 for his Update Manager plugin. And I caught something else earlier that Code Potent is looking for people to do beta testing of plugins. So if you're interested in doing that and you have the time, please reach out to him and find out what he's got that he needs beta tested. I wish I could, but I'm so packed full of stuff right now. I don't think I could add another thing to my plate. So at any rate, go check out this plugin here at the Release Candidate. It is a update manager, and what it does is it creates a simple client-server relationship for the serving data, not the files, and the client which consumes the data, and as a single PHP file added to your plugins. When the user checks for updates, the client file queries the server for the update data, and if found, makes the update available to the user. So go check out this plugin. It's something that I think I'm going to get my developer to look at for the plugins that are being created for plugin dynamics, because we want to make sure we have a good way of keeping our plugins up to date, because most of them will not end up in a repository. Some of them may end up in the WordPress repository, but most of them will be coming from our own websites. So go check that out. So thanks a lot, Code Potent. It's great to see you're continuing to pump out stuff for everyone. All right, and the other big news out there is, of course, I've mentioned it a couple of weeks in a row, is that the WooCommerce has been forked for ClassicPress. So in case you haven't heard me, if you hadn't heard me talk about the fork for WooCommerce or the Classic Commerce that's coming up and in development, and it looks like that they have something in the development repository, so you can experiment with it. I probably wouldn't put it on a live site just yet, but I'm pretty sure this is going to develop out quite nicely. They've even listed up a place in the forums, the ClassicPress forums, where they talk about the plugins that are necessary for Classic Commerce to make sure you're getting the bare essentials that you need to run your e-commerce website. So go check this out. And if you're moving to ClassicPress, go check this plugin out and see if it's going to work for you for a e-commerce site. And if you've got the ability, get out there and help them develop this, because this is really going to make a big difference in the community, I believe, having something like this. And of course, the usual ClassicPress resources out there at ClassicPress Club, the must-have plugins list for ClassicPress itself, the find a list of ClassicPress specific plugins that we have here, and currently that list is still sitting at 42. So we need some more, folks. Get out there and develop some plugins for ClassicPress, and then submit them off to Code Potent so he can get it listed up there. All right, so that pretty much wraps up everything I've got for this show. And closing out in this episode here, I covered up the Asset Cleanup plugin for page speed, which I gave a 4 to. The Sogo adds script to individual pages, header, footer, which I gave a 5 to. The Table of Contents Reloaded, which I gave a 5 to. And a couple of quick reminders. The latest interview is out with Kim Gerstott from Mail Poet. Go check it out at wppluginsa-z.com. It's right there off the front page of the site, or follow the link in the show notes for interview 47. The next WordPress meetup in Victoria is going to be November 28th. In Victoria, the topic, well, I'm still batting around topics. I'm really horrible with this time for some reason, but we will have a good topic and we will have a good presentation as usual. So make sure you check it out. It'll all be announced at wppluginsa-z.com/meetup. And of course, this show here titled Finding Gold in Plugins. Speaking of finding gold, check out my new venture at theroguestavern.com and follow my adventures into the wild, searching for gold and out on the range and more. This is where I'm starting to share some of my pastime adventures and what I'm doing with my life aside from sitting in front of a computer screen. I realize I've been spending there way too much, and you can also go check out my latest videos over at on YouTube. Just look for The Rogues Tavern or The Rogues Tavern in YouTube, or go to theroguestavern.com. That pretty much wraps up everything I've got here today. And anyone wants to stick around for a short chat afterwards, feel free. But I'm going to let my girl take us on out of here.
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at wppluginsa-z.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsa-z.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using wppluginsa-z.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at wppluginsa-z. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
There we go. Thank you, everyone, for coming in today. I greatly appreciate you showing up for the show. Always nice when a few people show up and have a listen. I thoroughly enjoy it. Indiana Jones. Yeah, well, go check it out. It's more like Cowboy John. I've got some Western shooter videos where I'm shooting and enjoying myself with my 30-30 and my new single action Ruger. You know, it's really quite fun. I love getting out onto the range and shooting. Seems people forget that we Canadians are actually allowed to own guns. It takes a little bit of work to get the license, but once you get it, you can own pretty much any gun. Not quite as liberal as the States, but pretty close. Plus hunting. I'm looking forward to getting out hunting. Yeah, that extra at the end. My oldest boy is the one who did that to me. He's 12 now. He did that when he was 2. No, maybe he was 3. I can't believe I've been doing the show that long. That's actually quite funny. But yeah, go check out the videos, subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate any help there over at the Rogues Tavern, sharing out the stuff I've got there. And there'll be videos coming up this week. I'm heading out to my brother. My brother has a gold mine and some mining claims on a river. So I'm going to go examine the river, and then, of course, looking over another area that I might actually claim up for myself. So just the fun of getting outdoors and enjoying myself. All right, well, thank you all very much. I greatly appreciate it. And any feedback you can send me, I'm always up for it. Beautiful thing about feedback, sometimes it stings, but once the sting's gone, you realize it's all good and it helps you move forward. So take care, all. You all have a good day. That will be the end of it for today. Take care now. Bye-bye.